It out. It's Mike Birbiglia. I'm here with Gary Simons today for the second time. How are you, Gary?
I'm good.
Gary was on the show, I think exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah, just about.
This came up recently because Ira Glass came on and he was doing stand-up for the first time. Yeah. And after being a radio icon for many, many years, he's doing stand-up and he wanted advice on how to do stand-up. 2 years ago, you were a new comic. You had just moved to New York. Mm-hmm. We have this thing in common, which is you were the funniest person on campus, winner at Georgetown University, like 23 years after me or something like that.
Yeah,
That's how we met.
Yeah.
And then you started opening for me. You opened for me on the whole tour of what is now the Good Life special. And you killed. And now you're working at the Comedy Cellar, one of my favorite clubs in the world, or my favorite club in the world.
Yeah.
And you've been working there since October. And so now I would say let's touch base with more questions from someone 3-4 years into being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, 3-4 years into stand-up. 2 years ago, I asked questions like new comic to a veteran comic about like certain things like, oh, how do you get into clubs, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, all right, 2 years later, what are questions I have? What are questions that someone who's like around my level would have, who's like been doing it longer now, did the things that we talked about in the first episode, and now has like more questions or discovered new things.
Right. And then in addition to that, we asked people on Instagram if they have questions for the first few years of doing stand-up. So and then we can answer those together.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So do you have questions you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time I was on the podcast, we talked about how like the important thing with like stand-up is just getting as much stage time as possible, which I feel like is true. Like I feel like I've improved so much from stage time. I also remember on the Chris DiStefano episode, he said that he would go to 50 open mics like a week, every week, which I feel like almost feels impossible now. Like I was trying to find like 50 different open mics in a week, but I was curious when you started out, like how often were you getting up on stage? And then how often do you think a new comic should get on stage in a week?
So when I started in Washington, D.C., there wasn't, like you're saying, there wasn't that many open mics. I mean, there was literally like, there was one open mic in Virginia on Wednesday nights at Tyson's Corner, Virginia, in the lounge of the Best Western. I would do like open mics that weren't even comedy. Mm-hmm. This is in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So I would just do like music open mic. I would just do stand up. Nobody wanted it. Mm-hmm. And then when I moved to New York, it was like I got passed at some clubs, and there were some open mics and some rooms like that are booked technically, but they're they're technically booked, but I mean I call them like, I don't know, independent shows, like bar shows. I don't know if you're saying the same. Booked mics, whatever. Open mics, booked mics.
Yeah.
And so I would do a lot of that. I would do like a combination of clubs and mics, and booked mics would be like, I would do like between 3 and 7 sets a night.
Wow. 7
nights a week. So I would say, at the top end, it would be 49 using that math.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever did 49 sets in a week. Like I think, I think I probably topped out at like 20 to 30 sets a week. Doing like mics that are like not great, that are like hard, is good.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones, honestly.
Is it really?
Like I was like, the ones that don't feel good, I'm like, I learned the most from this. Like that, like I needed that.
Can you give me an example?
In Connecticut, there's this mic that like happened that I don't know if it's still around, but it used to happen as a bar where like they wouldn't tell anyone that it's a mic. Like you would just like, only comedians knew that it was a mic.
Yeah.
And then you would just start talking to a microphone while people were like watching a game at the bar, and they would heckle you during it. They didn't know they didn't know you weren't supposed to heckle. They would just heckle because they were like, you're talking over my game. No one, like I used to walk off the stage feeling like I think I lost a bit of my body. Like I think I lost my soul coming off the stage. And afterwards I used to be afraid of it. And then I was like, if I could go up, do my set, and still walk off, like I was like, oh, I'm stronger because of it. Like now when it goes well, sure, that's easy. But like when it's hard, can you stay up there? Can you keep trying your material? Can you win them over eventually?
Yeah, it's weird. It really is like weights in your feet, or you know, windsurfing and heavy surf or whatever. It's like I remember doing a show in Springfield, Missouri. I'll never forget it. It's like there's like a pool table in the back of the room. People were playing. There's like a jukebox. And I'm like, I'm doing terribly. And then this comic, Tommy Johnigan, who's a really great comic, he was young. He was probably 20 years old. He came to see me. And he was like, that was great. I was like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Those shows weirdly do make you stronger because I don't know. There's something about the challenge of it. If you can be interesting enough, people pay attention despite like 100 distractions.
Yeah.
Then there's something to what you're saying.
I also feel like it's that situation is always gonna happen again. Like it's always gonna happen one more time. So it's like if you have that tough mic or that tough room, like going through that experience once and it doesn't go well, it's like, okay, you've learned from it, and then it's gonna happen again. Like you're gonna do a show where there's gonna be people who are playing pool in the back again, and you're like, oh, okay, now I've done that before. I know what I could change from the last time. I know, like, oh, I should engage this a little bit more, make a joke about the fact that they're playing pool, something like that.
What's weird is at a certain point you realize that you're never going to get so good or so successful that there won't be a gig where there's bad conditions. Like bad conditions are around your corner always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always going to exist. So yeah, whenever you have bad conditions, like, yeah, do your best.
Next question. We talked about before, how does someone get into clubs, which it's different for every single person. And like last time we talked about it, it's different for every single person. It's kind of no perfect way to do it. My question is, once that person's figured out a way to get into clubs, how, and in my case, I'm wondering it too, like how do you avoid sounding like a club comedian, like that influencing you? Because there's a sound and there's a rhythm that can influence you so much that then you start taking that outside of there and it doesn't really work or translate.
You know, it's so funny. When I had this exact concern when I was like in my 20s. And I said to Mitch Hedberg, who's my idol, I go, Mitch, now that I'm playing clubs, I fear that I'll become hacky. And he was just like, you will never be hacky because you don't like hacky. Like, you don't like hacky, so you'll never become hacky. I thought it was an interesting take. Sure, being in a club, there is a certain rhythm to it, but like ultimately, if you're doing what you think is funny and some combination of what you think is funny and the audience thinks is funny, and that Venn diagram creates what your comedy is eventually, it's going to be ultimately you.
Do you feel like there is any changes that like you did make, even though he told you that? Do you feel like you changed anything, or is there anything you did?
Yeah, I think like I would say the thing that it's like two different ends of the spectrum that I've learned. One is like, I remember talking to Jeff Ross. I opened for him in Baltimore many years ago. And he watched my set and he goes, that was good. You should do it faster and louder. He goes, if you go faster and louder, you'll kill. And then I went the second show, I went faster and louder, and I did kill harder. Yeah. That is a club thing. Faster and louder is a club thing. So there's that, right? But then over the years, I've gone the other way, which is like, no, you know, more conversational, more personal, one-on-one feeling. And by the way, it's not bad advice. For being a club act, sometimes being faster and louder is good, but it's a little bit diminishing returns.
I'm curious, when do you decide that you're done with like an old bit and try working on a new bit? Like what's your process on like, okay, today I'm going to do old stuff and try and refine it versus like, I'm going to try this new bit that I've been writing out?
I think it's like an age-old question, but it's harder to figure out when you're starting out, like in the first 5 to 10 years, really. Because on one hand, you want to get booked again. That's my fear. It's like, no, either just work the old thing so that they'd like you and then you can keep going. And I'm like, I have nothing new if they ask for more. Right. Yeah. So it's like a real conundrum. First 5 or 10 years where you're trying to break in. Like, okay, I got to do the thing that works. But then also, I need to grow and expand and try talking about new things. And my theory on that is open strong, close strong, and then use the middle to try out 1 minute that's new, 2 minutes that's new if you're feeling good, 3 minutes that's new if you're feeling really good, depending on where the crowd's letting you go. But just open strong, close strong, that's like the biggest thing. And also just got to get to a point where you work so many different rooms or mics that certain mics feel like you can really let go and just be yourself and go. It's kind of great because sometimes it's kind of like in tennis or something where you're like, sometimes when you're swinging away and you're not trying to hit everything in, you start hitting a lot of winners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think comedy's like that. It's like if you can get a relationship with a certain show or a certain booker where they're like, hey, have fun with my shows. That's kind of great, because even if it's a low profile show or whatever, you might be able to explore things about your personality that you never even thought about putting on stage. Because that's the thing about when you're starting out is, and even now, like I'm still figuring this out. It's like you don't really know what the funniest thing about you is until you try a bunch of embarrassing stuff about yourself. I think as a comic, you have to take chances with making fun of yourself that put you out of your own comfort zone. I think like a dangerous path in comedy is being cool.
Yeah.
I think you see that a lot with comics. They get like a good 10 minutes and they're killing with it. And then you see them in 10 years and like they're still doing the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you go like, you gotta like go out of that comfort zone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't personally worry about being cool. I don't think that's on my radar of like a potential concern. I don't think on stage or off stage people are like, oh, that's a cool guy. I think I only tell embarrassing secrets and stories. The other question I have is, there's some comedians who like go on stage and they kind of perform a little bit like off the cuff, as opposed to like they rehearse and plan like their jokes. Like I would consider myself as someone who like writes it out, kind of knows how I want to say it, says it how I want to say it, performs that way, but the other people are off the cuff. Do you feel like there's a one way or another is better, and what is your process for that?
It's so funny. When I was in college, cold called Jim Gaffigan. I asked him to go to lunch. I've told this story before, but it's a very specific thing from the lunch. He was like, do you improvise on stage or do you write your jokes out? And I had not considered the idea that you could improvise on stage. I was like, what? People improvise stand-up comedy? Like, what do you mean? Years later, probably like 7 years into stand-up comedy, I started improvising on stage. And I was like, oh, I get it. Because I do think that there's something in stand-up comedy where you know something could be funny. You put it in front of an audience, the pressure's on. You got to turn it into something that is tangibly funny because they're staring at you. I think over the years I've gotten better at that. I think it's just a comedy muscle over the years you get better at. All right, so we're going to play some questions from Instagram people sent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, my name's Erica, and I'm just barely starting out with comedy. I'm taking a stand-up class in Seattle, and I'm in my 50s. It's just something I've always wanted to do. And so my question is, we come to the stage with our issues and our confessions and observations, and that's kind of what it's about. But like as a woman, I, like many others, have been conditioned to not take up space and, that our stories aren't worth hearing. So I'm interested in how I can get over that and really start to believe that any given story that I want to tell is actually worth telling. So like, is that just doing it, or is there some sort of inner way to kind of quell that voice that says quit, especially if you bomb? So that's my question. Thanks.
I relate to that completely. I mean, I feel like, do you relate to that?
Yeah, I relate to that. I feel like as a black person, there's also a certain level of like, oh, like people don't want to hear this, or like a lot of like repression about like don't tell like.
I have that as a 5'9" person.
Yeah, I also have that as a 5'7" person. It's a two-way thing. I have a lot of identities that.
No, I totally know what you mean. I mean, I have to say, like, first time I told a story was as part of the Moth, and I was like shaking the whole time. You can hear. I have the audio recording. You can hear my voice quiver. The reason it's quivering is intertwined with what she's saying, actually, which is like, there's something about telling a story where you're like, why am I doing this? There's an inner monologue where you're like, why am I wasting these people's time with my boring story?
Yeah, especially when it's in the sense, like when you're expecting people to laugh and you're like, oh, I just told you that I told you a terrible dynamic in my family, and you're concerned. You're
concerned.
You're concerned. Oh, or you're falling asleep. You're bored, or like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you tell a story and you're divulging something about yourself and they're not laughing, you're just like, oh, I wish this day hadn't occurred.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a terrible feeling. Obviously, I can't be inside of Erica's experience. Like, everyone has their own experience with all this stuff. But what you should know is you're not alone. I think, like, weirdly, like, everyone feels that, maybe to different extents. And it really is the jumping in the swimming pool of stand-up comedy to make the leap to people should hear this, and to honestly, like, trick yourself into believing that they might want to. Because when I was starting out, like, man, did I feel like no one wanted to hear any of the things I was saying.
Yeah. I feel like the two things I remember when I was starting out was that I watched someone go on stage and say probably some of the most, like, vile material I'd ever heard, like, said into a microphone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was offended. Like, I feel like he said some stuff that was, like, racist, sexist, like, all these things. And it was, like, on, like, a book show. And I could tell, like, he thought very highly of himself. And when I saw that, I was like, there's no reason why, like, he should be able to be talking right now and saying things that I think are actively, like, regressing, like people in progress, in a way that, like, I wanted to go up there and, like, do comedy and stand up just to be like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, I wanted to see the thing that, like, I didn't think I was seeing.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to think about it. So I would say, tell the story you feel like no one's telling. And I think the more specific that gets, and the more it's what you're feeling, potentially the funnier it'll be. Mm-hmm. And I think that, honestly, it's like the interplay of getting on stage and the audience reacting could help her get past that inclination to kind of not tell stories.
Or here's the next question.
Hey, Mike, I'm a big fan of the show. I've been doing stand-up for 3 years now, and I'm currently working on a story about how I accidentally dropped a rolly suitcase down an up escalator at the airport, and it almost hit a little old lady with a cane, but luckily someone saved her at the last second. The story really works with some audiences, but I'm finding that other audiences feel bad for the old lady and then in turn fully hate me. So my question is, how do you tell a story that makes you seem completely unlikable while still keeping the audience on your side? Thank you.
I relate very much to what he's saying, because basically every single one of my shows has stories contained in it where I'm the unlikable person. Mm-hmm. And it is, especially the early versions of those stories are so hard to tell, because you just kind of know, you're like, oh, this is going to be tough. And the audience is kind of gasping maybe, or not laughing in the right places and all. And it's awkward, But I do think, like, that's the calibration of POV in comedy, is figuring out how is what you're saying compelling enough to be interesting and funny, but then, like, relatable enough to feel like the audience could imagine being in your shoes in that story.
Yeah.
So, like, in other words, sometimes you can step out and be like, just keep in mind, I'm worried about the woman also.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I'm worried about, but blank. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would suggest the exact same thing. Like, something that acknowledges that you recognize what they might be feeling in that moment. I have a joke about, like, using WikiHow to tell a friend that I was into her, and, like, which is a very embarrassing story. It's not exactly the same where people dislike me, but it's such an embarrassing story that I can feel people pull back and, like, oh my God type of way.
Totally.
Where I've like started having like a joke that like acknowledges like, I just want you to know like I'm okay. Like, or like some type of thing that like lets people know, like sets the standard so that people aren't like worried about other aspects of your life or who you are outside of this.
Yeah, I'm
moment.
okay is good. I think like, you know, I have the joke that I'm working on. I've done it on a couple episodes where my daughter was swimming in a pool and it was late at night and she swam into the side and hit her head and she was bleeding and she was okay, you know. And the first thing I thought was like, phew. And the second thought was, I'm so glad it was my wife's idea for us to go swimming at night, you know? And it's like, it's that first thought of like, phew, or she's okay, that I think a lot of times the audience needs in order to go with a comedic premise that has danger, especially for other people. No one wants to see an old lady fall down an escalator.
Yeah, no one.
Who's rooting for that?
No one.
One eighth of the audience at most.
1/8. 1/8. Yeah.
You can't kill with 1/8. All right, let's try another one.
Yeah.
Hey, Birbiglia.
Easy.
I am a brand new comic in Chicago, and so I'm so excited that you're taking these questions because your girl needs some advice.
Your girl.
I am super new, as I mentioned, which is probably even an overstatement. I just took a class at the Lincoln Lodge, which was awesome, and we had a great final showcase. It was my first time on stage, and I think it went well. I loved it. I'm excited to be getting out and sharing my material, but I cannot get over the hump of the open mic. It's super intimidating. Everyone that is at these open mics has been doing it for years, so I've been to a few, but I've yet to actually go up on stage myself. So just kind of need a little motivation, a little confidence boost, a mantra, something that has worked for you when you get stage fright or are afraid of sharing new material. Maybe it was something that wore off after a few tries in the beginning, but would love any sort of advice to just get me over this first hurdle, get me off the high dive and into the deep end. So excited about all of it, and thanks so much for all the work you guys are doing. You're an amazing inspiration.
That's so nice. Well, I'll share my mantra. I've never shared this before. Before I go on stage, do you know what it is?
I think I know what it is.
You've seen me do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't hear you say it out loud, but I see you bend down and you touch the ground and then you throw your hands up into the sky and you do that a few times.
So embarrassing.
You do that a few times and I don't ever say anything because I do my own thing where I'm like, I usually do like a Wonder Woman pose like in the mirror and I tell myself like affirmations.
Why
like
is it Wonder Woman?
Why is it why not Wonder Woman? It's just like, it's like a superhero
What's
pose.
different from Wonder Woman and Wonder Man?
Well, there's not a Wonder Man.
No, Superman?
There's no Superman yet. Well,
this is someone who really doesn't understand comic books.
Yeah.
What about Wonder Man?
Wonder Man. I think there is a Wonder Man, but I know you're not talking about it. I say Wonder Woman because that's how I learned it, as Wonder Woman as opposed to Superman. But I do the Wonder Woman Superman pose in the mirror, and I tell myself like affirmations, like I'm in like The Help, like I'm smart, like like
Sure.
I'm bored, like like you're funny,
one.
like this is good. Like I tell myself that usually, which helps give like. Literally, I think there's a physiological response that happens that helps get like the like testosterone up. Like
completely agree with you.
Which helps.
I think that's a great one. So mine is, people can steal this. I bend down, like Gary's saying. I bend down. I touch the earth. I tell stories from the earth, and I reach up to the sky, and I go and I take inspiration from the heavens.
Yeah.
Tell stories from the earth, inspiration from the heavens. I do it over and over again because I want what I'm doing to be grounded. But then I want there to be a mysticism to it that's greater than myself. Mm-hmm. That's my goal. That's my mantra. I've had different mantras over the years I developed. You can steal that one if you want. I will say, I feel you on the open mic front. It's so hard.
Yeah.
If this is any consolation, when I first started doing open mics, I read an article in the New Yorker about Richard Pryor, and it said that Richard Pryor would, this is the long story short on Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, for the first part of his career, admittedly, he's kind of doing Bill Cosby, almost his voice, and like even kind of very similar affectation, etc. At a certain point in his career, and he was making a good living. Mm-hmm. Like he was like a Vegas act, like he was doing well.
Yeah.
At a certain point, he decided, I'm throwing away that whole act. I'm going to build an act from scratch. And he started going open mics, and every week he would do, I want to say like a completely new 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was. And it would be completely new. And from that, he would find like 1 minute that worked. And he'd come back the next week and he'd do the 1 minute plus the 19 new minutes. And he'd come back the next week, he'd do 2 minutes that worked and 18 minutes that were new. And from that became the legendary Richard Pryor that kind of a lot of us know and love. I read that. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. Of course, you're like so naive when you're a kid. That's what I'm going to do. You know? So I went to Tyson's Corner, Virginia, to Best Western. Like I was saying, I went to this open mic at, I think it was Wiseacres was the name of the quote unquote comedy club, the Best Western. And I have to say, I went week after week, new 5 minutes every week. And I would bomb so hard. Like, and I think people felt bad for me. Like, I think the other, like comics would come up to me after the show and they'd be like, hey, stick with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it would, but it wouldn't be stick with it like I like you. It'd be like, stick with it, you suck. Maybe someday you won't suck.
Yeah.
So that's, if that's any consolation, do you feel like you have any kind of analogous open mic story?
Most of the material you're watching isn't that great either. And so there's the actual distance between you and like a lot of people, what they're trying isn't that great. And so like you're kind of in a space where a lot of people are just trying new stuff. They're working on stuff. That's a great way
to look at it.
And so I think
that's such a great way to look at it is, and if this is helpful to anyone who's going to open mics, it's like everyone's just trying to figure it out, even if they're pretending that like they're doing well or that they have it all figured out or they have anything figured out. If they're in an open mic, chances are they're in an exploratory phase.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that book, The Four Agreements. You ever read The Four Agreements?
I've not read The Four Agreements.
Like one of them was like one of the ideas in it is, and this helps me calm down sometimes, is like when you're having anxiety, like to see yourself in other people, and essentially that we're all the same, right?
Yeah.
And it's like at open mics, you are all the same. Yeah. It does not matter. Like if you look around, you should just imagine those are you. Everyone's you.
Yeah.
At that open mic.
100%. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Birbiglia. Huge fan here. Whenever I try to...
What is this, UPS?
Doing stand-up comedy, still never have done it. I always write something down, look into a mirror, and try to practice it out loud. But because there's no one there, no one to laugh at it, I always feel like it's not that funny, and then I psych myself out and end up not performing. So my question is, how do you overcome that? How do you look in the mirror, say something, get no laughter, obviously, because no one's there, and still convince yourself that's funny enough to say out loud, and still go and do it in stand-up?
Yeah, the one thing I'd say about this is I would not look in the mirror. I actually don't think it's for you. Weirdly, first of all, we can never see ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we can never see ourselves the way the audience sees us. What you're trying to do as a comedian, you're not trying to convey jokes, you're trying to convey ideas, or you're trying to convey stories. Even if what you're doing are jokes, you're just trying essentially to convey. So the same way that if you ran into an emergency room and you need to explain that there's a woman who fell down on the street and needs help, you're just trying to convey to the doctors and the nurses what happened. Weirdly, that's what stand-up comedy is. You're just trying to convey to the audience what your ideas are. It just so happens because it's comedy, those ideas are a little bit nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
That's what makes it comedy.
Yeah.
It's like you're just, and actually I always say like law is a good analogy for comedy. It's like you're making an argument, you're making a case, you're explaining, here's my logic for this thing. It just so happens the thing is a little absurd, but you're making the case as well as you can. The other thing, Mulaney and I have always talked about this, is like the moment you think about an audience laughing that isn't there, you won't get a laugh.
Yeah.
Any imagined laugh won't equal a laugh.
I second all those things, and those are things you've told me before, which really have helped me out. I feel like my thing, I will say I did used to look in the mirror and like perform my set.
We've
so
all
I like
been
relate
there.
that. So I relate to that 100%.
Yes.
I've done that. I would say that usually the first time you're doing like a joke or material at an open mic, you're not really saying it, in my opinion, for the laughs. Like, you're saying it to know how it sounds to come out of your mouth to say it. Similar to what you're saying, which is like, don't say the lines, like say the ideas. It's like the first time you're saying what you wrote, it is kind of figure out like what is it that I am trying to say. Like, sometimes you say something and like, that's too many words, or sometimes you say something and like, that didn't sound right, or like you don't even know, you don't have it memorized, so you're like trying to memorize it, you're trying to remember how it's going, and then like you say it out loud and you're like, okay, I said that too fast, or like, or you know what, like I don't need that line, or that doesn't matter, or like, okay, I've done one rep of it, I've tried it once, now it's like,
that's right.
Work.
And also, like, you don't know how long it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you write a bit and you're like, that'll be a minute, and then you're like, oh, that's 4 minutes.
That's 4
minutes. And you're like, I gotta trim words, it's too long.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say as a hack is like to not memorize the monologue as much as you're memorizing just bullet points, because I think a lot of times the naturalism of the space between the bullet points it will connect with the audience.
Yeah.
What do you want to run a bit? Let's do a bit.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm working on this this story that I've done on stage a few times. It gets laughs. I think it could use definitely more jokes, and I have an out for it, which I feel like you gave me a good, like, this is good advice, which was like, whenever you're telling a story on stage or like working on a new joke, like have like an out for that joke that can work, so that if it's not killing for some reason on a certain show, or like,
well, I always say the audience craves an ending.
And so it's satisfying in some way. So it has that, I think, and I think it's kind of interesting. People usually are tuned into it, which is, it actually happened at the office, but now I say it happened in my apartment.
Yeah.
But I had to call my insurance company, or I had to call my pharmacy. To tell them something, but now you can't like talk to a person, you have to leave a voicemail. Yes. So I was like leaving a voicemail, and I was like, hey, my name is Gary Simons, my date of birth, and then bow, like a bird hits the window, like super hard.
Wow.
Like the window like turned into a gong, like it was just like bow, and then it dropped out, like it dropped to the, like it just fell.
Oh my God.
And it was like, and it's one of those things where it's like, you're so jarred by the intense scene you just took place that you laugh a little bit. Like I was like, I laughed a bit, but I was still leaving a voicemail. So I was like, hey, Gary Simon, bow. Sorry. Gary Simon's date of birth. And I start slowly walking over to the window to see like what's up with the situation.
Yeah.
The bird is caught between the slats of the fire escape with like one wing like sticking out.
My God.
And it's fidgeting. It's like right? And I see this, which is like a horror to watch, and I'm still leaving a voicemail.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, oh shit, sorry, oh my God, sorry, Gary's, I'm sorry. And then I hang up the phone call. I can't continue doing it. And I started like freaking out, because I'm like, what am I gonna do about this bird? Because like in my mind, there's there's like, whether the bird is just injured or this bird is like about to like die or something like that. Like I have to move it out of the situation. Like I either have to save it or like whatever. And it's still alive. So I'm like, okay, like how, like I Google like what to do when like a bird like hits your window and is injured. And like apparently like the number one thing you're supposed to do on Google is like adopt this bird, like take it in, you take it in.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like you're supposed to like take it in, like let it like nurture it till it can like fly off on its own, and then let it loose. And I'm like, I don't have insurance, like I can't be a parent, like I don't.
That's great.
I can't. And then I keep Googling. I find out that what you can also do is you can like take the bird, try and put it into like a cushioned box, and then take it to a rescue facility.
Yeah.
Google rescue facility, find one that's about to close like in an hour. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to save this bird. I got it, right? I find a cardboard box. I start putting paper towels in it to make it soft. As I'm doing it, I'm feeling like really good about myself. Like I'm a great person. Like I start getting emotional, because I start thinking, I was like, if I was this bird, like I was like injured, I want someone to help me too. So you know what? Like I'm gonna do this. Like I'm good. And I start taking the box over to the window. And when I get to the window, I see the bird like out of the slats, perched up on the ledge, just chilling, like bobbing its head, like okay.
Wow.
And then I'm like, what? How did you get? And then the bird looks at me and goes, and then flies off.
Flies away.
Flies away. I was like, you don't even know what I put into you. Like you don't. Like, I just put so much work into
Right.
it. Like, this is crazy. And then and as I'm thinking this, I get a call from my pharmacy, and I pick up, and they're like, "Are you okay?"
That's funny.
Yeah. And then that's like the out of like.
That's good. I had one line that occurred to me,
Yeah.
which is "bird flies away," and that's when I knew what it was like to be a parent.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the first thing it makes me think of.
Yeah. And then I could be like, after the phone call with CVS, I could be like, they grow up so fast.
Yeah, yeah.
They grow up so fast. They grow up so
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
They grow up so fast.
Well, first of all, this is an overarching note that not necessarily about this bit, but to all the people who sent voicemails today, and thank you for sending them, is find a comedy buddy. You know, because Gary and I, we spend a lot of time together. We'll be out on the road, and you'll say a story like that to me at lunch. I was thinking about doing this, and it's like, honestly, like one person who has like the same goal as you of being a comedian goes so far.
Yeah.
So even this, like, you're saying that story to me, and instantly I'm like, thumbs up on the story in general.
Yeah.
I feel like what works about the story, it's totally relatable. This idea of being on the phone for one thing, and then another thing happens. Like, I had one, and you can steal this as a line, is like, I had one recently where I was leaving a voicemail for someone, and in the middle of it, I just started saying things that were just like gibberish and had to do with like my dad who is in front of me, and you know what I mean? And I'm realizing it's a voicemail, and then I just panic and I just start pressing buttons, thinking maybe it'll be like, you can end this voicemail, but none of the buttons are yielding anything.
I want to erase this voicemail.
So it's me. So now this person is getting the voicemail and just like manic button pushing,
and like a DJ set, like beep,
exactly,
boop, beep, boop, 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 click, click, hang up.
So that might be a funny, like, giving color to like that front part. But I think the story itself is so relatable. I feel like we've all been in some kind of situation where we're trying to save an animal, save a thing, save a situation, and then the pride you feel about it makes me laugh so hard. And then like, I think the parenting thing that I pitched is decent. I think like have you put it on stage yet?
I have done it. I've done it like a few times on stage, and it's like, I think people are interested in the story and they they laugh at the ending. Like, I know a couple of beats where it's like, okay, this gets laughs here, but I do think it's too long for the amount of like hard jokes that are in it.
Well, that's the thing. I think that right now it's got a ton of plot.
Yeah.
We talk about this in the Ira Glass episode. So much of jokes and storytelling is you got a little plot and then you got jokes about the plot, which is how you feel about it. And then you got more plot and you got jokes about the plot. That's an example of there's too much plot. Like there's tons of great plot. I mean, that could be a 15-minute bit.
True.
I mean, that could be, if you developed jokes that are the equivalent length of the story itself. I mean, that's going to be gold. I think you just have to figure out what's your point of view about, like just a few prompts are like, how do you feel about people saving animals? How have you ever felt good about yourself? Do you have do you have pride about yourself? Because then we'll laugh more about you being like, wait a minute, I feel good about myself. So I think like a lot of things like in that story are like, honestly, how do you feel?
It's like, you know, one year, like, I went and I found, like, my girlfriend, she lost a ring in Central Park, and I went and I like found that exact replica of that ring, bought it and gifted it to her, and I felt proud. But nothing compared to this bird. Nothing compared to what saving this bird would be like.
Fixing bird is next level pride.
Saving a life.
Saving a life.
Saving a life.
You right here in this audience, you're looking at a hero.
Yeah. Now I know how like doctors feel.
Heroes don't all wear capes, but some of them heal birds.
Yeah, some of them don't have insurance.
Some of them don't have insurance. I think it's great. I mean, I think it like that's. I would just keep going with that. Bit. I just think it's keep finding your point of view. Keep finding your specific take on the like, break out the parts that you might have a take on, and then know that if you can come up with a funny take on that, you can include it in the story. Gary, this has been a blast. I think you're killing. I think you're doing a great job. And
thank you.
Can't wait to see when you decide to release your comedy.
I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but I think stories are our earliest form of digesting information.
Agreed.
It's a floppy disk, but before we had floppy disk, it's writing before writing.
Yeah.
It's giving us little anecdotes or facts. They'll just leave us immediately.
Yeah.
But I think our brains are built to remember story. And I also think that when somebody walks in a room and they go, hey guys, this crazy thing, we give them 10 seconds. Right?
The documentary you did about comedy clubs, working like 5 comedy clubs in a night in New York City.
Oh, the special.
441.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Thank you.
And it's like, you know what I love about that? It brings people into a world. It's on YouTube if people want to watch it. It brings people into the world of where you and I know each other from New York comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Mostly the Comedy Cellar, of how much comedy comedians do in a night. Because if you're an audience member, you're just going and you see Greer Barnes and Andrew Schultz and Mike Birbiglia. Yeah. Meanwhile, the whole bunch of us are going like club to club to club to club. And it's like, it's a grind.
Well, now it's easy because the Cellar has 14 different comedy clubs.
Yeah, I know.
But definitely when you were doing the rounds in the city.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing them, we're going from like the Upper East to downtown, back in a cab, back to the Upper East.
Yeah.
Across the stand-up New York.
Oh, I know. What did you, from filming that?
We have it the most tough, actually.
I do?
We do.
How come?
Which is comedians. Like, I know there's a lot of other people out there that think their jobs are tough.
No, we have it definitely really tough.
Taking fucking Ubers around New York City to talk for 15 minutes, man. I mean, nobody understands
it's
us, dude.
It's a challenge. No, but I don't think it's hard, but I do think that the documentary sort of opens out a world that people wouldn't realize is behind the scenes.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, realistically, like the reason I did it that way is because I just didn't have a place I could do an hour of comedy.
Yeah.
So I broke my hour into like 5 different rooms. And then I just filmed all 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, and then I was like, oh, this will kind of be cool. So
this is like 2018.
Yeah, this is way back in the day.
2017.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Time.
This is way
Time
back.
Flies, bro.
This is way back when. People wouldn't imagine. By the way, people wouldn't imagine we would be friendly or friends. Why? I don't even know what we are. Are we friends? Are we friendly? Are we work friends? Sometimes I think of comedians as work friends.
Yeah, we're like work friends. I feel like we're work friends, but I feel like we're almost like able to connect a little bit more since there doesn't seem to be like any kind of like competitiveness or rivalry.
That's interesting. Do you think because there was before, like
no, I think sometimes
ago?
Like guys that are in like similar spaces, they're
right.
Like at least in our field, people are like really competitive and also a lot of times really insecure, and that sometimes makes relationships a little trickier. Where I feel like you and I never felt like any negative energy towards you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we have not. We have
like, what are we competing over?
No, but I think people would not imagine us being coworkers.
Why?
Why? Well, you know why.
Well, no, tell me.
Our comedy is not even remotely similar to one another's.
I would say
we don't look or sound like one another in any way, shape, or form.
I think that you're speaking more on like a political expectation of me versus a political expectation of you.
Maybe that's part of it.
Less
our politics are probably very different.
Maybe. I don't know. I think our politics might be different based on your assumption of my politics. No. Which is based on what I put out in the world, so it's a completely fair assumption.
Right.
Like
No, I thought it's funny. I was listening to you on Dax.
And
I thought you had astute political observations that I very much agree with. Like, for example, you were like, AOC is one of the best things Democrats have going for us. Basically because, AOC and Bernie are basically saying, like, let's get money distributed and get money to the people and get jobs back for working people. And I was like, I couldn't agree more. So in that way,
to help.
What's that?
I think she wants to help.
She wants to help.
I think at her core.
That's right.
And I think Bernie at his core wants to help. And I think it's really hard. Like, you got to be really tribal to see someone who wants to help other people and then hate them. Now, I think some of her rhetoric is inflammatory. Like, she gets a little flagrant. You know what I mean? Like, she's on my podcast.
Are you plugging your own
I'm just
podcast?
telling you.
I saw her say she likes you, actually.
She got great taste. But
did you see that?
I did not see it.
Have you met her?
That up. No, I haven't. But I want to talk to her, actually, because like she did something that I thought was like really interesting, which is, and I don't want to be like too political, obviously, because people throw it out, but like I think her area, I think her area voted for her and Trump.
I know all about this,
but I think that's like a really important thing to understand.
It is.
That means her area isn't polarized politically. That means her area is going, who's going to help us?
Yeah.
So despite
who's our person?
It's like, and I thought that was like one of the coolest things. Like it made me proud to be a New Yorker. I was like, wow, we're making decisions, right or wrong. We see what happens.
Yeah.
But based on the people that are communicating, they're going to help us.
Yeah.
Regardless of what party they're in.
That's interesting. I mean, and of course you famously interviewed Trump, and then my phone lit up. Because you know this guy. Because you interviewed Trump. I had to be like, yes, and I like him, and he's a good guy. And
well, thank you for defending me, but you don't have to.
But the only thing that I would criticize about it is just like it's just a lot of softballs. And then I saw you talk about it, and you were saying, well, I brought up IVF, I brought up this, I brought up this. But I think it's a little naive, willfully naive, to think that was people's takeaway.
I think that's a really good criticism. Yeah, I think it's a really fair criticism. I think what I noticed is the second the episode came out, like the left was cheering me on like crazy. Yes. And they were like, finally somebody did it. Finally somebody made fun of him and laughed in his face and all that stuff. And when I saw that, I was like, I got to go watch this. Like, yeah, because I didn't think that was going to be a takeaway. And then the right was going, finally somebody humanizes him. So like both sides are cheering this interview. Right. And then I was like, oh shit, did we do it? Did we like humanize somebody, but at the same time laugh at the absurdity? Right. And did we actually do like a great interview? Like, did both sides thought appease their like emotional reactivity? And I mean, never going to make everybody happy, but that was I guess I don't want to say that was the goal, to appease both sides, but like I wanted to understand him as a human being, and I didn't want it to be like I thought like the only way to satisfy the left would be if it was like a gotcha interview. Yeah. Because I think not everybody, but I don't think there's people there that like, I imagine they see Trump in the same way that like during the civil rights movement, somebody might have seen, Republicans that like really didn't seem concerned with like black rights. So I feel like there's no way in winning those folks without like speaking about him or towards him as if he's like this super villain. Right. So like even if there were softballs, as you said, like even if they were hardballs, it wouldn't be enough unless I literally tried to demolish him. That would be the only way. Right. Because I think they see him in the same way that people see, nefarious characters throughout history.
But you didn't even come at him the way you came at Tom Brady.
What did I say but to Tom Brady? Oh,
the roast.
At the roast. Yeah, with the roast jokes. Yeah, because that was a roast.
Like, but you're a roast comedian.
Yes, but I wasn't doing a roast of the president. Is that the expectation?
That was mine. I don't know.
Right. No, I feel like I approached him the same way I approached any guest that comes on. Like when Cuban came on, I was just curious about his ideas. Like I don't like to do gotcha interviews no matter who it is. Right. Like when we had,
I don't either.
But like when we had like Hassan Piker, it wasn't, hey, we're going to try to dig up everything horrible you've said and like get you. It was like, hey, you might have a different, philosophy on how the world should be. And like, let's try to understand it.
The only one, I feel like Trump is fair game. He's a presidential candidate. He can be on entertainment shows. The only one that you had that kind of made me question your ethics in booking is Alex Jones.
That's completely reasonable.
How do you feel about it, especially being a dad now?
Yeah.
Because we all know what he did.
Yeah, what he did was awful.
What he did is the most heinous, and if you're a parent, it's like a next level of heinous.
Yeah, it's brutal. You can't even imagine it. Yeah, I think that it's a tricky thing. It's something that I've had to like. I don't have like a good like answer for it. It was. Yeah, I wish I had like a really good answer for it. I think you're right, and it was something I was thinking about in the time, and I was like, no, this figure is interesting. There's all this other stuff popping up that seems so like unbelievable. All this like Epstein stuff, all this conspiracy stuff. And I think I got like a little caught up in all this conspiracy stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? I think there's this part of me that was like, is this guy privy to what's really going on? Mm-hmm. And I think that allowed me to kind of not like be blind to it. I still thought it was heinous. There was a point in the pod where he like tried to justify it, and I made sure that he wasn't allowed to justify it. And but yeah, would I do it now having a kid? No.
Yeah.
I think it's a really reasonable criticism. And ultimately it's one of those things that you just got to carry for the rest of your career.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's interesting.
But what was your feeling on it? Maybe you can help me understand mine better.
To me, it's like, I like discussion, and I like podcasts that mix it up. For me, it's like, he's one of those people you just go, no, what you did is so definitively evil. It's just hard for me to come back from that.
So again, this is like the worst form. What I'm about to do, I've learned through like therapy with my wife, is like the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like the skills we develop as comedians are the worst things for communicating with our spouses, which is like,
That's very funny.
It's all being comedian is like finding rationalizations for things you shouldn't rationalize, examples, and then justifying behavior, which is the last thing you do.
Yeah.
Right? But like, you went and saw the Pope.
Oh yeah.
Now, when in terms of like acts of violence to children.
Yeah, no, I talk about this in my show.
So
I talk about this in my show. I had a lot of qualms about it.
Yeah, but not enough to not do it.
Right. What I say in the show is the Pope Francis is good, but only compared to other popes. Like if you met him at a party, you'd be like, this fucking guy.
Sure,
you know
sure.
what I mean?
And obviously what we're referring to is the idea of like knowing that there were like pedophile what is
heinous,
it?
Most heinous institutional crimes in
and then moving them around and then like
30 years.
Essentially protecting the institution because of that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Right. And yet there were these amazing things that you probably want to connect with the Pope and get these like cool experiences, etc. And like maybe he's not the guy who's the one responsible for it, you know. So I think there's a way you justified it. But I guess what I'm saying is that like like I had Trump on, like you've met Obama.
True.
Like if you ask people, like, getting married in Yemen, if Obama's like a good guy, they might be like, well, I can't answer that because I'm dead.
Right.
So
they wouldn't be able to answer that.
In terms of like the people who have done, I think Alex Jones has become like this example of like the worst person that's ever lived because of this horrendous thing that he did that like hurt these people's
Sandy
families.
Hook parents.
Yeah.
Where he portrayed them as
liars.
Actors?
No, he portrayed the parents
lying.
As liars, and the kids that were killed as actors, which is disgusting. It's horrible.
Yeah.
He himself did not protect any pedophiles. He did not fuck any kids and like protect them. And he didn't like murder, so far that we know, hundreds of thousands of people, or not responsible for an army murdering hundreds of thousands of people. So I think the way I justified it is going like, if people can chum it up with like presidents who are literally going, yeah, let's murder hundreds of thousands of people for Boeing or Raytheon or whatever company is going to get super rich, and not really to like protect the American people, or an institution. And I'm not trying to like bag on Catholics. I actually like, my family's Catholic. I have a lot of protection,
and a huge amount of ticket buyers are
God,
Catholic.
I love them. They have a lot of kids. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is like sometimes there's this like moral equivalency thing where it's just like it's very easy for us to just be like, the only bad people that exist are the ones that are over there.
Oh, 100%, sure.
It's like, how could you talk to Trump? How could you talk to Alex Jones? And it's just like, but I'll hang out with these guys who are responsible for like way more murder and rape than the other ones. We never look at our own and go, are they capable of doing horrible things? I'm a big Obama guy. Love Obama.
I think there's an irony in this moment right now, politically, which is, and I don't do political comedy, so this show's working it out. So, but most of this won't end up in my show. But it is something that confounds me. Is like, I feel like you're part of a movement in the last 10 years by comedians to be like, hey, let us say whatever we want.
Sure.
It's a kind of a free speech movement, and I've been, I generally, I feel like that's a good impulse. I think saying more than less leads to more honest conversations, which I think leads to better outcomes.
Yeah.
I think that the thing recently with the deporting protesters has really made me second guess whether or not this administration was ever about free speech. Do you feel on edge about any of that stuff right now? Like, I feel like my tribe, which I don't always agree with, I think is very on edge about Trump right now, because we feel like it feels like, hey, it's free speech, but our free speech
is not allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's our free speech, not everyone's free speech.
This is the thing that, like,
do you feel on edge about that, like, at all?
No.
You don't.
But this is the thing that, like, my concern is that the second the right got power, the right, and we're going to use these like loose terms.
Sure.
I'm not talking about like 80% of the people in the middle. I'm talking about like the extremes, right? Like,
sure.
So is that they were going to commit the exact same mistakes that they were fighting against for the last 8 years.
Right.
And that would be restricting the speech of people that disagree with them.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be in a situation where you're going like, hey, let me say things and I'm being censored and I'm not going to. The second you're in power, you're the one that censors.
Yeah.
So you have to work diligently at allowing people to say whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
So like, I think the biggest mistake that people make like about comedy is like this idea that people are allowed to be offended or aren't allowed to react however they want. Like if I say a joke, and it hurts you because of something that you experienced in your life, you're allowed to feel hurt.
100%.
You're allowed to hate me. You're allowed to have opinions on me that are unfounded based on a headline you saw.
Yeah, yeah.
I decided to put something out that somebody headlined that way.
That's true.
Like I have to accept that. That's just part of the reality, right? But like if there's anything that I do that offends you, I'm never going to do it to you again because I don't want to like hurt your feelings. Like you're a nice person. But don't restrict my ability to go tell that joke somewhere else.
Sure.
And the audience will ultimately tell me if the joke is good or bad.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, please believe I'm not confident enough to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm insecure too. I want the audience to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I got to keep tweaking and whittling it and making it better.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I think being a touring comedian gives you a certain perspective of the country that is very different from people who just live in New York City and Los Angeles. I've said this for years on this podcast, but it's like when people will often say to me in New York, they'll go, "Oh, you're going to Ohio this weekend. What's that going to be like?" I'm like, "It's going to be great."
Yeah.
People in Ohio are great. What are you talking about?
I do feel like we need to bring back some coastal elitism though. I do feel like it's at an all-time low and I don't like it. The country's better when we're arrogant.
I have a joke about it, which is people call me a coastal elite just because I live on a coast and I'm better than other people.
That's great.
And I want people to know that I also live part of the year in Aspen.
That's great.
I mean, I've probably known you 10 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember where we first met?
I think it was just at the Cellar having talks. Like, you and Noam would talk about a lot of stuff politically.
Yeah.
And then, like, you and I would chop it up. And then I hit you up for advice about not trying to plug special, but just because the special is like a story arc. Like, I asked you just for advice about storytelling. And
was it helpful?
Very helpful. Yeah. And you were very generous.
You remember any of it?
Yeah, I thought like specific things that you're saying is like one, you were like, because I was like, I'm reading all these books and stuff like that, and you're like, yeah, I think that's actually good. And then you were like, you said this thing which I've heard other people also say, not trying to take away credit from you, but saying that it's like, I think the top level storytellers get it. It's like, don't just go and then.
Right.
You're like, make sure everything that happens forces another thing to happen.
So then instead of and then.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's how you word it.
We talk about that on this podcast all the time.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like really grateful because it's very, I guess, easy when you're first starting is just to go and then this happened and then this happened. Right. And then it's just boring.
It's even good advice, by the way, for people who aren't professional storytellers.
Just anybody.
Think of anything in terms of so then.
Yeah.
It's much more interesting.
It's so much, and anyway, I was very grateful that you shared that. You had some other things you were saying, but I thought that was like the most potent one for me. It's like, what does this cause?
Yes.
What is this? Does this make this next thing necessary?
Yeah, and it works really well in the special. I found myself hooked in, and I had seen pieces of it at the Cellar, and it was hilarious in the 15-minute increments. But like, it really does have a cliffhanger element of it even though I know
the end.
I know the end.
So I tell the end in the beginning.
Yeah.
And but
I know you have a daughter. I know it worked out. And yet, when you're struggling with fertility and you're struggling with medical issues with your wife, I'm worried.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch that and have it work.
I credit you for this all the time. Like just really making sure that each thing forces the next thing.
Yeah.
And I think that like I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but I think stories are our earliest form of digesting information.
Agreed.
It's a floppy disk, but before we had floppy disk, it's writing before writing.
Yeah.
It's giving us little anecdotes or facts that'll just leave us immediately.
Yeah.
But I think our brains are built to remember story. And I also think that when somebody walks in a room and they go, "Hey guys, this crazy thing," we give them 10 seconds. Right?
So smart.
But it's true. Like
it's 100% true.
It shuts down. Like
not only that, your special is a super smart thing. You open on a joke from the middle of the special, then you go credit sequence, then you go to special.
Yeah.
Same reason that you're saying 10 seconds. First 10 seconds, you got to get them with a joke.
Yeah. I was actually concerned putting it out. Like it took me, I had a difficult task. I wanted to do kind of like I don't want to call it one-man show, but I wanted to tell a story.
Yeah.
But I didn't want people to know that they were being told a story.
Yeah.
So I wanted them to come and think it was the same, like, hey, these are just bits and hard-hitting stand-up. And then like you're like, wait, what is going on? And then the end. And then on tour, I was able to kind of get it there. And I remember as we were editing the special, I was like, fuck, should I just start right on the beginning of the story?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that it kind of subverts it, because I think that the reaction people had was, and I think you only get to do this once, because if I do it again, they'll be like, well, we know you were going to tell a story, you know, which I'm sure you have
Welcome
to go through.
my world.
Exactly, right? It's like the first time you do it, they're like, what the
When's
fuck
it gonna turn?
Yeah.
When are the jokes going to turn into a really serious vignette?
Right? But like, that's probably something that, I don't know, maybe your storytelling has gotten so much better.
It has to get better.
Yes, but the delta is probably smaller from special to special, but from the first one.
Yeah.
Like the first one, you're going from 0 to where it was.
No, absolutely. And I got choked up when you showed the video of your wife and daughter. It's very emotional.
Yeah.
And I get choked. I'm choked up now, even thinking about it.
Oh, thank you.
It's very moving, and it's very. People should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's very moving, and it's very vulnerable. And I think significantly, it's vulnerable from a person who people would not expect to be vulnerable, and I think that that's significant.
Yeah, I think that, like, I'll be honest, I think me being the problem with getting pregnant made it a lot easier to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever be able to do it if it was my wife's issue with eggs or anything like that.
Yeah, of course. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But yeah, to me it was like exciting. I just thought my life was boring, to be honest with you. I thought my opinions were way more interesting than my life.
Right.
Like I was like, okay, I got, fun takes on this, and you know what I mean? Like
well, you said this thing to me at one point when we were at the cellar, where you were like, I'm starting to realize that like take culture is a little boring compared to our own personal stories.
100%. And then the most elite version of it is when like society calls for that story, like whatever that story's about.
Say more about that.
Like not elite version of it, like doesn't make the art better, but it makes it like more potentially successful. So like social utility.
Yeah.
When social utility meets art, that's when things are like almost inescapable.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things about art is like sometimes there's no social utility, but that's what you want to create.
It's funny. Your special is called Life, and it was filmed at the Beacon. My special is called The Good Life, and it was filmed at the Beacon. It's so.
I'm just doing a knockoff of Birbiglia. I just want to let you guys know it's a shittier story than Birbiglia would tell. Okay, it's at the same venue. Just watch his, and it's something like that with more fucks.
No, but my director Seth and I would talk every night before I performed the show, which is about how tonight this show may not be for everybody. It's for who needs it tonight.
Yeah.
Because it's a very challenging story about my dad having a stroke and kind of going through that. And it's like the responses that people come up to me with, and I'm sure they do with you with life, to me are way more powerful than any "that was hilarious" or any "I've never laughed so hard" thing.
Yeah.
Like, what's the most extreme experience you've had with people coming up to you about life?
I mean, to me, I get like really emotional reading the stories. So I just screenshot all these like stories. So all these people who are going through infertility, I don't even like using that word.
Yeah.
They're going
it's
through
offensive to you.
Fertility issues. It's
negative. Yeah, no, you're a snowflake.
I am sensitive.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm also sensitive in terms of like positivity.
You're sensitive about your things.
Yeah, on my things. Yes. Okay. It's about me. No. But like I would rather call it fertility journey, not infertility.
Right.
Journey. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like,
God, you make me learn all these words.
I know, that's crazy.
I can't keep up.
This is what it's like being a lib, dude.
Well, it's funny because I do think it's a very. It is. You're opening up to the audience, and you are someone who has this accent, which God knows what the fuck this accent is. You get the mustache. I don't know what that means, but like. You're a guy.
Yeah.
You're very much a guy, and you're telling this very vulnerable story. And you're an example to me of someone who's been a comic and a really good comic for a long time.
Thanks.
And you're having a moment. And part of it is that you're opening up to the audience, and part of it is that your politics seem to align with a huge swath of people in the country.
It's interesting. It's like the political thing, it's, you know, that the annoying thing about politics, it's just, it immediately creates a good guy, bad guy narrative no matter what.
Yeah.
And the good guy isn't earned.
Yeah, agreed.
Right?
I think that's true.
It's not earned. Like, if you like me because of something I say politically, you don't like me. You like you.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying it in a way that makes you feel good about yourself.
That's right.
And the bad guy is if I say something that goes against something you feel, you don't actually dislike me.
Yeah.
I'm just emblematic of any guy that you hate that holds these certain opinions. Mm-hmm. Right? So to me, one of the beautiful things about stand-up is that it's deserved. It's earned when it's done well.
Agreed.
That's why I hate the pandering. Like, I would rather say a joke that I know that you're going to hate.
Yeah.
But do it so well that you end up laughing.
Yeah.
Because it feels earned or deserved.
Yeah.
Like, I eye roll anytime, like, I'm in New York and there's like, or if I eye roll anytime I'm in Texas and it's just some like fucking free speech or whatever. It's just like, you're just saying the thing. Like, it's just, you're just saying the thing that's going to get people to agree.
Right.
Right. And it's the same thing in New York. You could just do some like super like liberal take and everybody there is just like, all right, we're supposed to laugh at this.
Right.
You know? So the annoying thing about politics versus like being personal is when you do a personal joke.
Yeah.
And granted, I understand like people will relate to it because they've gone through it and they might see me in their experiences.
Yeah.
But at least they're seeing a version that we both connect on. And I don't think there's many people that are watching me and going, I didn't go through IVF. He's a villain.
No, absolutely.
Whereas,
and that's part of the reason why I perform so many shows internationally is that I try to understand what's human about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when I go to England or Australia, it's like, oh, okay, what's the part that defies culture? And it's just, what do we all have in common?
Yeah.
You do tons of international shows.
No, honestly, like my international stuff is literally just like from doing jokes about different cultures.
Right.
And that's just me being like a curious guy.
Yeah.
Like I just want to know. I just want to know about you. And I think I just get that from my dad. Like anybody my dad spoke to was like just the most curious. When he's talking to you, you're the most interesting person he's ever spoken to.
Yeah.
If you're a guy that's holding glasses because you're like the busboy at the restaurant, he's like, how can you hold all those glasses?
This is the thing. This is the thing that drives me nuts about the election.
Yeah.
Is people went nuts about Rogan.
Yeah.
And every degree of separation I had with the Harris campaign, I begged them, please get her to go on Rogan, because what's going to happen is he is just a curious person and he'll just ask questions, and she'll look great. She wouldn't go on, and she wouldn't go on yours, and I think it's a huge mistake.
Well, this is the to what we were saying earlier. Like, this is sometimes the burden of the party of progress, is like the concern of ostracizing one of your groups, and that is much easier to do when you are the one that's trying to create more opportunity for more marginalized groups. Right? Like, I don't think Trump has to care as much, because he's like, if I piss off the Qs, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think the Dems are going like, ugh, I could say that thing about pronouns, and that might be turned a certain way. Like, I thought one of the most relatable moments for Kamala is when she was like, somebody breaks into my house, she's getting shot. Mm-hmm. Somebody breaks into my house, he's getting shot. Do you remember that? I think she was
I do remember that.
And, like, she was kind of criticized for that. And
I didn't follow that side of it.
But, like, I was like, whoa, that's a real cool moment. That's a relatable moment. Yeah. I grew up in New York City. I'm going to have a fucking gun. Nobody has a gun in this city.
Right.
Like, but this feeling of somebody intruding in your space, and you have, like, a child there. Like, you do anything to protect them. I hit up Charlemagne immediately, because, Charlemagne was involved with
I know,
like, yo, more.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And he's like, this is who she really is.
It's interesting. Like, I think it was John Favreau from Positive America said this thing to Hassan Minhaj on his podcast, and I think this is completely true, is the reason why podcasts are so influential is because the people listening know they talk for like 1 to 3 hours. This is kind of what they're like. This is a kind of a peek behind the curtain, whereas John Favreau pointed out, if I go on MSNBC or CNN, it's a 5-minute segment. I know they're going to ask these 3 questions. I kind of know what my 3 answers are going to be.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the Americans are kind of done with that.
Yeah, it's one of the things I learned from this, and this is like just from doing like press around the specials, and I was going on all these different people's podcasts. After the last special, I kind of just stopped doing pods. And I was like, you know what? I want people to kind of understand my curiosity and what I'm into, and like get a sense of me. So I'm going to bring all these different people to my podcast.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm just communicating to the people who already know me, who I am.
Yeah.
They don't need like, and I also am bringing them there just because I'm curious. But I thought a byproduct of that curiosity would be like public sentiment about me would be more understood.
Right.
No, people only know what they consume of you.
Right.
Right. And they're not going to consume every one of your episodes. So when I was doing these convos and like having great convos like this, where like maybe we disagree on some things, but I have a lot of respect for you. So like in no way am I going, oh, how can I make him look stupid? Or I don't even know if I'm capable of that, but like not even trying. Right. I'm like, I think you get well, you don't have to, but maybe even your audience gets like a more well-rounded sense of me. Like we might disagree on everything politically, but maybe it's not, oh, he's evil and he thinks that I'm bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. Like one of the things I've really admired about you in your comedy career is that when I started on comedy, it was before you. I moved to New York in 2000, and the gatekeepers of comedy really decided.
Yeah.
It decided, you get a sitcom, you're going to be a talk show host, you're going to be on the sketch comedy show.
Yeah.
And now it's like people like you and Josh Johnson, who was on this podcast last week.
Josh is crushing it.
He's crushing it. And it's like no gatekeepers involved. Like you have made you a star. And the audiences have decided. And we are in a climate right now that, as far as I can understand, is completely unprecedented in the history of entertainment. So what I would say is, because a lot of creatives listen to the show, what is your advice to a creative who's starting out and they want to make what they make and have it reach an audience?
One, I would say like now is the best time in history. Like be really grateful. And sometimes it's hard when you're creating a lot of stuff and it's not immediately getting success. It's very easy to get like bitter and kind of resent other people that are successful. Mm-hmm. I'm sure when you started getting tons of success with what you were doing, I bet all of your contemporaries were really happy for you and they loved it.
You probably witnessed a lot of my contemporaries privately being happy for me at the cellar when you were coming up.
Actually, I didn't hear anybody shitting on you.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little past when people were shitting on me. When I first came to New York,
Yeah.
people came down on me hard.
So-
Because I was like 24 on Letterman. People like came out hard.
So somebody's 30, they never got a chance to do a late night show, and they think you're taking their slot.
Yeah,
which is
brutal.
not fair to you, by the
Brutal.
way. But it is kind of like this unfortunate human instinct we have. It's shitty.
Sure.
But it is what it is. So you've experienced it a lot. But it's better to experience the hate from your success than to be the one hating
Yeah, of
on
course.
whatever. But what I would say now is that the cool thing about the internet, if you create authentically and your thing is good, the internet will help people find it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't guarantee that it's going to be 10 million or 20 million people. It might be 200,000 people, which is still awesome if you're creating your thing.
Oh my God.
So this is my piece of advice. And I know it's not the exact question, but this is the thing that I would suggest. The algorithm is incredibly powerful at getting something to the people that want to consume it. Mm-hmm. My concern is that a lot of creators now are letting the algorithm dictate to them what they create. Mm-hmm. And they're not taking advantage of the greatest time in history for creators, which is like this decentralized marketplace where we can create our own authentic things and put it out there in the world. There's a million criticisms you could say of what I just said right now. Oh, Schultz, you did this topic or this, blah, 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 for sure. One thing that I think that like I feel very proud of, especially with stand-up, like I don't think I'm algorithmically an IVF fertility journey is the fucking smash hit, you know. Mm-hmm. But I would say with the pod specifically is like there is a way that you can grift off the left or the right and you just pick a fucking lane and then you just go, not saying you're doing that by the way, but like there are people that are just going, I'm just going to be right wing guy or I'm going to be left wing guy. Mm-hmm. The cost of not doing that is you're going to have episodes that aren't going to perform. Mm-hmm. And I would say, good.
Yeah.
Good. That means you're not letting the algorithm completely dictate your creative process.
Sure.
Like, that's good. The things should go back and forth. And to just be very disciplined in the things that you create and make sure they're the things that you really want to do. That, I guess that would be my advice. Because now, back in the day, it was just an executive probably telling us, hey, could you change this thing, whatever. Now the algorithm is letting you know.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think that the thing I want to point out to people is, you know, I moved to New York in 2000. I started doing comedy in the late 90s, working the door at the Washington, D.C. Improv. The barriers for entry in that era were like, I mean, so big.
The fact that you're on Letterman at 24, like the amount of hate you must have got, it's like unbelievable.
And the
it
barriers
seemed impossible at the time.
And also like filming a comedy special. Like the idea, the fact that you and Josh Johnson are able to just
Josh is doing it every week.
Yeah, just filming yourself and then just putting it on YouTube. It is. Yeah, I can't even. It's like a fucking time machine.
So
I feel like I've lived through.
We have this like gratitude for it because we knew like what it was before and how like vulnerable it was. You had no control of your destiny at all.
Yeah.
And now we know we have it. The next crop never knew what begging Comedy Central to give you a special was. So now they just know, oh, I post clips and crowd work does good, so I'll do crowd work. And it's like, okay, something else is also going to do good. Nobody expected that.
And that's going to change.
Exactly. Like,
whatever's popular this year is not going to be popular next year.
Yeah, like when I was doing the crowd work, when I put out that crowd work special years, nobody was posting crowd work. Like it wasn't a thing, right? And then it blew up, and then other people was like, oh, okay, that's a thing to go do it. There might be a day where like storytelling becomes so popular that you're doing one-liner jokes. You're doing like Borscht Belt, take my wife, please. Like, you know, like this could happen. What I would say is look for that space too. I feel like when you were really kind of, I don't want to say creating story. No, you're not creating, but like when we were really spearheading that genre, that now you see a lot of other people doing. Maybe a lot is not, but there are other people that are.
It's become more popular.
Yeah, by you, let's say. At the time where you were doing it, you don't see a lot. it would be like more British acts. They would have like a singular kind of theme. But in America, not very common.
Yeah.
You would see some stories and stuff. Like Cosby would tell stories.
And Pryor told stories.
Pryor told stories.
Yeah.
But it was chunks.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the popularity, obviously, it grows.
Yeah. No, you're right. And no one watching your special is thinking, oh, Andrew must have talked to Mike Birbiglia at the Cellar one night about storytelling.
All these people are like, oh, why'd you decide to do it? And obviously I tell them the people that I spoke to, but like the people just watching it don't understand the trickle down effect.
Yeah.
You know, and like even people listening to this pod for the first time, and obviously there's things they may disagree or agree with, they might be like, wait a minute. So Birbiglia created Schultz?
That's right. Which is, hopefully is the takeaway. Minus the Puerto Rican jokes. The last thing we do is working it out for a cause. Is there a nonprofit that you like to contribute to, and we will contribute to them and link to them?
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so there's a guy he plays for the Yankees. His name is Carlos Rodon. He and his wife, I think, went on a similar journey. He asked me if I would come do this thing for him, so I want to be working with his. Isn't specifically towards fertility. Okay. But I said that I would do some stuff with him in the fall. But so if we could do his, and I'll get you like all the information.
Amazing, Andrew. Congrats on the special. It's fantastic. I'm thrilled it's so popular.
Thank you so much for helping me with it.
Well,
it's all your responsibility.
I'll see you.
Thank you for watching.
It's so good. Well, I saw like 3 iterations of it, so I knew the material pretty well, but it got better and better and better, which sometimes doesn't happen. Sometimes it's like better and better and a little worse.
Oh, for sure.
But you're like, I feel like you're super loose. You come out, you're dancing, you're high energy, but also personal, but also physical, but also your voices. Like, I feel like it's your most breakout of filmed performances, like even more so than the first one. I love the first one.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
What got you there?
Well, I toured it way more than the first one. I didn't really have like a touring audience, I think, for the first one, so I didn't super tour. What I'm saying is, this show I toured for 2 years internationally. You know what I mean?
So it's the most worked through,
right? And
like tried out and trial and error.
Yeah, and that actually, believe it or not, works, right? And believe me, it got worse too at one point. When you said, oh, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got worse at one point. I was in Asia and Australia, and it was worse. But I didn't know it. I was like, I'm going to make it jokier, take out more of the personal stuff. So and then when I came back, I watched the tapes, and I was like, I made it worse. And so then I went back to a more original version, and that's what you saw as the final taped version.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
The special, though, like, what I find remarkable about it is you tell this story about being kidnapped by your grandmother, which is so remarkable and extraordinary, from Japan when you were a kid, and then like 25 years later you're kind of unpacking it and asking her about it,
right? And
the audience is dying laughing. And what strikes me is what a specific thing that you did in your life, and the audience is dying laughing. And usually laughter is a sign of relating.
Oh, sure.
So my question is like, what are they relating to, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah, I know. I've wondered that because it is so specific. I wonder, maybe it's just being lied to by your family.
Yeah,
like
sure.
We all have been.
Right, the absurdity of like, I guess, our relationship with our own parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who should know better than we do.
Yeah.
Who are our guidance, who is there to guide us.
Yeah.
But then they mess up real bad, like accidentally kidnap you or something like that.
Well, it's funny, like we have the thing in common, which is I told my sleepwalking story on This American Life, and that was like a big breakout thing. And you told your kidnapping thing on This American Life.
Yeah.
And you even have jokes about it in the special of like you're in trouble when you're telling your story on This American Life.
Yeah, it's not good.
You're like, oh, I'm inspirational. I don't want to be inspirational.
Yeah. Because then the polar opposite of inspirational is what? Just kind of, being like
one of the gang,
part of society, a suit maybe.
A suit.
right? A salaryman in Japan, that's the ultimate like goal for a lot of people in Japan, is to be a salaryman. We all wear uniform suits. We all walk in rhythm, you know, going to work on the subway, and then we come back. That's kind of, right?
What if you were a suit and this was the suit? It's like 40 women like in your exact outfit right now.
Oh, that would be, that's fashion.
Oh, I would love that.
Then I'd be into, because of course.
That's a dance squad.
That's more of a dance crew. Yeah. Which is a dream of mine, is to
just for the listener people only who aren't on video.
That's right.
This is just a beautiful purple, pink, white pattern.
Yeah, top and pants
suit.
Yeah, that's
of
true.
Of sorts, yeah.
This is the kind of, if I were to, I guess I've always wanted to stand out a little. So I joke about being an inspiration and things like that. Like, I would rather just live simple and, you know, no one ever sees me and I just eat chips and be surrounded by ranch dressing. I joke that that's the kind of life I want. But, you know, I think there's definitely I'm glad that all those things happen and that, you know.
Yeah.
We're performers, and there's an ego. We have an ego, right, too.
For sure. But it's funny, like, the whole special thematically in a lot of ways is about, like, wanting to have friends and, like, adult friendship being elusive. And in some weird way, it's like the audience of the world is your friend.
Right, yeah. I know. I think about that. Because when people started showing up to my shows wearing wigs of my bowl cut,
oh my God, they did?
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
So then it's like, is the audience my friend, or have I tried to make them me? Is this a cult? This is how Jonestown started. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah. The Dora thing, like you call that looking like Dora the Explorer. Is that something you noticed or someone else said to you?
Someone else noticed. I read my comments because it's sometimes the audience has like tags by accident.
That's
right?
how I feel about it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At some point, someone said you look like a cross between Matt Damon and Bill O'Reilly, and I'm
that's
like,
where you got
it.
that.
I'll put it in the show.
How about the Paul Rudd thing? That's
you're looking at like an ugly Paul Rudd. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. I'll use it as my superpower.
Yeah.
And as fuel. I'll run with this.
Because when you make that joke in the special, the thing I'm thinking when I'm watching is like, there's no way Atsuko looked in the mirror and was like, I look like Dora the Explorer.
No, I wish. This is why it's important to ask other people, right? How they perceive you and things like this.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that. It's like, I try to get my guests who I'm friends with.
Yeah.
To make fun of me or at least call out a thing that I don't understand about myself because I crave that.
Right.
Is there anything you think about me that I haven't mind about myself that you think is ridiculous about me?
I don't know. I mean, it's so hard because I'm not a roast comedian.
No, I know.
I'm so anti. I've done one roast, and it was the roast of Mr. Peanut.
I saw that.
Yeah, literally, that's the only. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. It's a cartoon character.
It's a peanut. It's a peanut. It's an animated peanut.
But then I forgot that they come and roast you too, the other comedians. I was like, right, this part.
What'd they say?
Oh, it's all about the hair.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, like, speaking of mushrooms, here's Otsko. You know what I mean? Or like, speaking of penises, it was always like that.
Oh, okay.
Who does your hair? I'll make sure to never go to them. Things like
that.
That.
Cool.
But that's
that's roast fare.
That's roast material. Do you talk about being dizzy at all, or is that something?
Just that I look dizzy at all times.
Me and Ryan have been like, because we're concerned about you. We love you. So that's why we're like, Mike looks like he's like always a little dizzy. But you talk about waddling too.
No, you're onto something though.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something with this dizzy thing.
Because he's always a little dizzy at all times. Are you?
No. I think that's a great point, and I think I should exploit that more. It is. People say in my comments sometimes he looks drunk.
Oh.
Like on talk shows. And of course, I never drink.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
on
not
talk shows
drunk.
or performing or anything like that. I barely drink in life at all. And people are like, he's drunk. Not even he might be drunk. Like, he's definitely drunk. And I'm at home reading the comments going, I'm not drunk. I don't know what to say. This is how I talk. This is how I look.
Right.
But I feel like it's not a compliment.
Yeah, no, drunk is lowbrow. It's too easy.
Yeah.
It's like.
But dizzy's funny.
There's this game in Japan that we would play as kids where oh no, actually, okay, you have this too. It's hitting a piñata. You know how with a piñata you blindfold the kid, then you spin them around so they don't know which direction.
That's what I
and then
look
you
like.
walk. You go now. Go.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I meant by like kind of the way you approach a life.
I'm gonna try the exact thing you said. I'm gonna try as a bit.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna try that
yeah,
exact.
yeah. Okay.
To say to the audience, you know what I look like? I look like when you spin a kid around and then you unblindfold him.
Yeah.
That's what I look like. I bet the audience would lock into that.
I think so. Yeah, because you do.
Because the drunk thing, I don't want to say I look drunk.
No,
but I do,
that's so general too.
Yeah, so general.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that the spinning a kid around blindfolded and then you unblindfold him, that's what I look like all the time.
Yes.
That's a good, I'm going to try that.
Yes.
Finally, somebody answers my question on the show.
He a dizzy boy.
I'm a dizzy boy.
He's a dizzy boy.
I'm a dizzy boy.
And so many people are dizzy. But
I'm a dizzy boy.
But that's relatable, right? You know what you are? You're relatable. Also not a compliment, right? Like
No, I know. I get that all the time. You're relatable. I'm like, all right, get out of here.
you're so accessible.
Yeah, you're so accessible.
It's not like, yeah. We feel like we are you.
Right. It's like, it's never, you're remarkable. You're extraordinary. It's like, you're exactly like the most boring person.
I get told I'm relatable too. So there's that,
I think you're extraordinary.
But in that, like, I am accessible in that you will find me stuck on a ride at Disneyland, or you know what I mean, which is how some people found me the other day, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I got a ride broke down while I was on it.
Wow.
It's used to be Splash Mountain. It's called Tiana's Bayou.
Okay.
Now. And it's a log ride. You boom, splash. It was the big drop at the end. So you're drenched wet. And that's when the ride stopped.
Wow.
But you're outdoors by then. And so you're out in public.
You're just on this as a grown-up.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of a Disney adult. But you know this, right? I'm Dora.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You are Dora. The funny thing is, I thought when I'm watching your special is you talk about how elusive adult friendship is. We are adult friends.
I know, yeah.
You and I are adult friends. We met as grown-ups.
We did, yeah. And we didn't even have a common enemy, did we? It could
No,
be.
you talk about how friendship needs a common enemy. Sometimes it's the boss. It's the man.
Sometimes it's a long line. It doesn't have to be a
long
person.
line. What was ours? Well, why did we bond as friends as adults?
Life, comedy.
Comedy?
Life is hard. Comedians know, right? Like being a comedian and the things that go, it requires.
Yeah.
That could be a common enemy a little bit that we bond over.
Yeah, I think so.
We know the road is hard. We know these things. So,
yeah, I think that's true. We just clicked right away. We did a show at the Chicago Theater like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I know. That's a wild way to start.
It's a wild way to start a friendship.
Hey, because we were like...
We did this podcast remotely.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, you should open for me in Chicago.
Oh my God. And the first time meeting you is like right before Chicago Theater is wild, because then you're like, okay, show's starting. What? And I go out there in front of 3,500 people. Hey, Mike's people.
Are you ready for Dizzy Boy?
Here he is.
The headliner's here, and he's dizzy.
Can you imagine? You're like, oh, okay.
That would be hilarious.
Different vibes.
You just
different
fully
energy.
roast me
Yeah.
the moment we meet.
People change.
No, people change.
From, and then to, because their online persona and in-person persona can be so different.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you're surprised, shocked. You go,
well,
I thought I befriended the online you.
No, totally.
No,
I could be wicked and mean, shouting at people, dizzy.
In person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I go, wow, this
isn't who I thought
the
it
dizzy
was.
part is the only part that actually is true,
What do you think, now that you've analyzed the dizzy part's the only part that's true?
That was, coming through online and in person.
You talk about like being codependent with Ryan, and do you feel like you have any detanglement strategies for being codependent, or are you just comfortable in being codependent?
We have never talked about that.
Really?
Yeah, we've never talked about that. We are not as mature as like you and Jen. You and Jen, like sometimes you talk about each other and your relationship on stage, and I'm like, wow, they're a duo that really know each other and know themselves.
That's a nice take.
It is to know that, like, you know, your love language is like keeping score, things like that. I'm like, I don't know if I would have the ability to know that about me and Ryan.
Well, it's funny though. The one of the relatable things in your special is about the delegation of work having to do with like washing clothes, the washer and dryer,
right?
And you realizing after all these years by going to the washer, like, oh, I've never used these buttons.
Yeah,
like
totally.
you weren't doing the laundry.
I wasn't. Yeah.
So when you realize that, were you immediately like, this is a bit?
No. Ryan is the one that was like, that could be a bit.
Oh.
To be honest, I felt bad.
Yeah.
At first, because he was shocked. He was like, wait, hold on. When I asked him how to turn it on, because I was like, which setting would be good? So it was more like that. It says power. It says power. I know how to turn it on, but I was like, which setting like would be good for, like, you know, all underwear?
Yeah.
Should it be cold or hot?
Yeah.
And he was like, what? That's when he realized. He was like, wait, hold on. Wait, have you not done it before? And I was like, that's so interesting. I was like, oh my God, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Like, it was this, but it was devastating. It wasn't like, ha ha ha.
Right.
We had a fight. It was a fight because it was like, wait, what am I? Just like Cinderella? What's going on? And
He was saying that.
Yeah. And I was like, well, you know, yeah, I mean, I hope fold the clothes. And he's like, yeah, maybe that's why you thought you've been doing it too. And I was like, why didn't you notice? You know, I was gaslighting.
Why didn't you know?
Why didn't you know? You should know.
Yeah,
He's like,
how come you didn't
because
know
I'm
this?
the one physically doing it. He thought sometimes, you know, when it would be done, you forget. You go, oh,
Right.
maybe she did this load. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it takes days for us to fold clothes too. So you forget.
But it's hard. Do you feel like, well, Ryan directed the special, so clearly he has a hand in what ends up being in the final cut. If he didn't like the laundry bit,
Sure, no, of
snip,
course,
snip,
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 just like his vasectomy, snip,
God.
snip. That's
He
right.
could do a vasectomy on your special if he wanted to,
Yeah, live.
Yeah. But did he ever push back on your version of the events with that bit?
He didn't, because it's a bit that makes me look bad.
You look ridiculous.
So he was like, fine. He's like, yeah, it makes me look good.
You basically realize in real time that you have forgotten to do your laundry for like 10 years.
Oh, I'm gonna lose followers with this special. Everyone's people are Team Ryan after this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. People ask him like, hey, do you ever feel bad that like she talks so much about you? And he's like, no, she makes me look like an angel in this.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think he comes off well.
Yeah. I'm
And
the
you
villain.
come off dizzy.
I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy in this
You
one.
and me are dizzy.
I know. We're just like, what? Who? Laundry.
Do you ever run the bits by your mother, your grandmother, and your father? Because there's so much stuff about them.
Yeah, I tell them that I talk about them, but I don't know the language like Mandarin or Japanese enough to be able to do the joke exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm like, this is what the joke is about.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, you did take me, and remember.
Right.
And then
Remember you
w-
kidnapped me.
Yeah, and I asked you, and then anyway, it's on radio. You know that because the fact checking, This American Life fact checks.
Oh, interesting.
Everything.
Yes.
So they talk to my dad and grandma and mom anyway. So they all know. And so what didn't make it in is because my mom had told me that my dad and her had like a lustful relationship.
Okay.
She was like, our marriage was mostly sex.
Oh.
He would take me, we would go to the sexy movie theaters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. and
For
watch-
real?
Yeah, that's what she told me. Yeah, go to the movie theater, the adult theaters.
Oh, okay.
That's what she means.
Like porn.
Yes, porn
Wow.
theaters. Yeah. That's sexy.
And this is Japan.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And then they would like not hook up there, but get all
Yeah.
horned up, and then go home and try to have me.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what she
So
told me.
she thought that was the basis of their relationship, and then they fact checked that.
Yes, and then they talked to my dad, and my dad was like, it was more than sex.
Oh.
And and then he was like, I don't really want that movie theater stuff in there. I mean, here I am talking about it.
Right.
But yeah, so that didn't make it in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has your family watched the special? Because they could watch it with subtitles.
They could, yeah. My dad will once it's out.
Yeah.
Because he can watch it in Japan with. I'll give him my password or something to Disney Plus.
Because it'll be on probably Disney Plus there.
Yeah.
It's international, I think.
Yeah. So then he's and actually he's seen it when I was in Japan touring it. He's seen it cool. 5 times actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like reconnecting with your dad in this adult stage in your life has changed the way you view the world, or have you learned anything from it?
Yeah. Yes, I have. That when you're missing something in life, you tend to fill that hole with like your thoughts and versions of what that person is like, how they feel, things like that. Like, oh, they must be so sad and miss me so much. Sometimes they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go, oh, he must have, been thinking about me every day. Maybe not, or he's such a good guy, my grandma's the villain or whatever.
Right.
And then it's like, he was like, no, I also like, I understood that you would probably be better off with her. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
How did you ask your grandma if she kidnapped you? How'd you bring it up? Did you go like, I have something to talk about with you?
Yeah. And I said, I'm about to record this conversation too. Is that okay? Yeah. So there was that. It was kind of a trap.
I'm about to record this conversation with you is a real worrisome phrase.
No, I know. Because I was like, well, I kind of want to find out, it's something I've been wondering. And I may be doing.
Did you hold up the recorder?
I said, yes, there's this. Do you know NPR?
Yeah.
I was like,
right.
I may be
public radio
doing a project with them.
The funding is under fire, so we need something real hooky.
Yes, and they don't we want more immigrant stories on air?
That's right.
I really got to all the things she cares about, and then she was like, "Okay, fine. Yes, I took you without permission. Yes." What is that? And I said, I think maybe it's a kidnapping, right? And she's like, no. That's when she said the ransom thing. No, because in kidnapping, people always ask for a ransom. Oh, there's always money, right? I didn't tell your dad he needs to pay me a ransom.
Yeah. And that checks out.
Yeah.
There's no ransom.
Because you're family members? Do people ask family members for, how much money he makes?
Yeah.
It's... Obviously, you're not going to ask for a ransom.
Right.
What? You need a white van and everything
Yes,
for it to be an actual kidnapping?
Yeah. It doesn't pass the white van test, so they didn't think of it that way.
No, totally, yeah. She's like, we're friends. We're like close. I know.
Oh, you have a whole run about nighttime friends versus daytime friends.
Right, yeah.
Which I think is a great bit. And then I was like, wait, am I a nighttime friend or a daytime friend?
You're a nighttime friend.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's such a relief.
If you think about it, we rarely see each other during the day. This is during the day.
Yeah,
because you do your podcast during the day. But, when we tour even.
Yeah, would I ever meet your daytime friends? Can you introduce me to your daytime friends?
I don't really have daytime friends.
Oh, wow.
I'm rarely out during the day. I never see the sun. I just found out actually through my makeup artist, Ryan has a darker shade than me.
Really?
Like, because we used to share foundation color. And now I'm more pale.
You need to read a book called Codependent No More.
I know. I was like, this is my dream. We're becoming one person.
Foundation.
Yeah, that's when it was like...
Even Ryan's codependent with me. At one point, he gave me makeup when we were on tour. He was like, here, use this. This will tamp down the reds.
Oh, we were always trying to recruit you to be part of our codependency. We were always like, how can we make him part of...
I think there was a throuple in the making if we had gone on tour long enough.
Oh, yeah, totally.
If we had done 5-10 years together.
At least it was like...
Non-sexual throuple, but just like a little mini commune.
Oh, totally. Where they're like, I mean, that's at least 2 brothers sharing a wife, right? Or something.
I do look a little bit like Ryan. That's true.
I'm sure people have wondered.
So this is called the slow.
Then we get slow.
This is called the slow run. We're going to slow it down. Did your life go how you expected it to go?
No, I didn't expect much.
Yeah.
I didn't. The key is not expecting at all.
True.
I didn't really dream past 17.
Well, that's interesting.
Not like I had planned to die.
Right. But like, yeah, the scroll, so to speak, on your life, you imagined it gets hazier around 17. And what did you think would happen when you were 17?
I dreamed. So, back to the whole like, knowing since I was 3, I was going to be a comedian or whatever. I didn't dare to dream big, So my biggest dream as a kid was to work at an ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
And then at age 17, I did. So that's what I mean. I said, well, what now?
What else?
I
what
peaked?
more could I want?
I peaked? This is the dream?
I peaked.
This is the dream?
Yeah, ice cream stand.
$7 an hour?
No.
I gotta dream bigger.
Yeah.
But that's scary to dream bigger.
And then at that point, when you were at the ice cream stand, did you reevaluate and go, I gotta dream bigger?
I did, but because you know how I got that ice cream job was I finally got a green card. So then, right, I had limitations. So why would I think I could become a comedian? Why?
Right. You didn't have a green card.
Also, at that time, they really made you feel like there's only like 20 comedians in the world.
That's right.
Right? Like that's all who's allowed to have specials. And
of course.
That's who you'll see on David Letterman. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's thousands now.
Yeah.
But there's been thousands.
Yeah, but even now, I don't think that you, like a young version of you, would go, "Oh, I could do that." I feel like it's like it was probably incremental.
Right? Yeah. I go, well, Margaret Cho already exists. They're not going to do another one. Why would they?
Right.
Right?
No, that's
how they made you feel.
And also, like you were like living for a period of time in your like uncle's garage.
Right. I didn't have a social security number. I couldn't even get a driver's license. So I was like, yeah, I mean, let's say I get a green card, hopefully, then I'll go get my first job. And hopefully it's at an ice cream parlor. I did make that happen. So then I was like, oh, God, now I dream bigger? Okay.
Do you remember the second dream after ice cream parlor?
I think
I'm asking you for real.
Yeah.
After ice cream parlor, were you like,
hey, don't laugh. That was my big dream, and I achieved that.
I'm gonna take you out for ice cream after this.
It's very
interview.
attainable, but I achieved it.
Yeah.
Some people don't even attain that.
No, are you kidding me? I'm not scoffing at ice cream. Ice cream is a serious thing.
Yeah. I mean, they could have been full. They said we're not hiring right now, but they hired me.
Do you remember after that?
I think it was like very basic. I just wanted to be a normal teenager. I said I want a boyfriend. I went and got that.
Nice.
I got a boyfriend.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Went to the movie theater.
Move out and
count it.
I moved out.
Yeah, moved out. That's
the
huge.
garage.
Wow.
I moved in with that boyfriend.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I think that's about it. And then, I was like, well, I got into college, so I'll start going. And then
and then I remember you taught film at a college.
That was not a dream at all. That was not something I would.
That's a cool job.
It was fun. Yeah. I was like, oh, weird. I mean, this is like what? Very few percentage of the world does this, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that was cool. But yeah, I didn't be.
And then do you remember an inflection point where you're like, I could be a comedian? It's such a unlikely profession.
I know, yeah.
You remember the moment or the period of time
that I could be a comedian? Yeah, it was like when I was like 20, 21. Yeah, after I broke up with that boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, that was a big failure. And then I had dropped out of the college.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, another failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I might as well do the thing I've always wanted to try. I have nothing else to lose.
Yeah.
So that's when I tried it. But it wasn't like, yeah, here I go.
What were the first couple
Comedy
times?
Central, here I come.
What were the first couple times like?
Doing comedy?
Yeah.
Well, so I didn't go do open mics. I signed up for a class on Craigslist.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that was a nice, supportive environment. I needed that much support.
Was it a comedian who ran it?
Yes, yeah. Lisa Sunstead. It was an all-female stand-up comedy class.
Wow.
So it was like a nurturing environment instead of going to a mic. If I went to mics with already like my upbringing and me being dizzy and all.
yeah, totally.
I would have probably stopped.
That's interesting.
Right?
Because it would have been so challenging.
Yeah, it's like I already have a hard time believing in myself during that time.
Yeah.
All I need is to like bomb once at an open mic. Okay, all right, never mind. My bad.
Did you have a sense from your peers? It's so funny because like people have like starkly different takes on quote unquote like comedy classes, any kind of like comedy education, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of your school of thought on it, which is like, if that's what it takes to get you like working on material, then great.
You have to remember, a lot of us comedians, like you say, right? Jen's a artist, poet, together you're a sculptor. We don't have the skill. So you want me to have discipline?
Right.
A lot of us don't have that. Discipline.
Right.
I needed that. I needed homework every week.
Yeah.
I needed to show up to a place every week. I needed you to tell me this class, for the next 2 hours, you're writing jokes. I needed discipline. I can't just go to an open mic and then, I'll carve out time on my own.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was bad at school.
Right.
So whatever works for you, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the most absurd thing you've ever done while drunk?
The absurd thing. Oh, this is not an absurd thing. I used to go through a period where I would get pretty naked.
Okay.
Yeah. Like down to just my underwear, sometimes completely naked.
So socially, you'd be like at someone's house or like at a bar?
Not in public. Like
Okay.
if it's like a house party.
So a house party.
Yeah, I'll
So
usually.
you just get naked.
just excited. Excited. I'm getting warm. I'm so warm because I'm dancing. And I would just get,
That seems great.
Yeah. So
that seems like a really positive drunk person at a party.
Yeah, okay, yeah, good.
Did it ever go badly? Ever go south?
Well,
does anyone ever like put your clothes back on?
Me and Ryan had a talk actually when we first started dating. He saw that, he was like, "Wait, is this a thing you do?" Because it was like earlier on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just get happy."
That's so funny.
And he's like, "You were just like everything out, like dancing, like legs spread apart." And he said at one point I was on my back, just like thong on, and I had my legs spread. I was so, and he said, "You looked so happy, but you were like laughing, yeah." But I was on my back and I was like bouncing up, like and down on my back, like that,
right?
Just like kind of showing myself to everyone. And he was like, "I don't know if that's a." He was like, "Let's figure that out." Because
let's figure that out.
Because we were starting to figure out if we were getting serious or not, you know.
Sure.
And
is my girlfriend gonna be the girl at the party,
that girl.
naked, like vibrating on the floor?
Right. Yeah. And at first I didn't know why it was a big deal, actually.
Okay, but why is it a big deal?
Well, because maybe, you know, as you grow older, let's say, you know, that is your soulmate, and then I don't know, you can't, it's not going to age well, I think.
I guess so. I don't know, it's funny, it makes me think of a time I was at someone's birthday party and the woman got kind of naked, kind of the way you're describing it. It was like a dance party, dancing, naked, semi-naked.
Just one person though, right?
Yeah, and then the boyfriend did get mad.
Right? Come on.
The boyfriend got mad and like pulled her side, and it was like it was definitely a thing. And it did, like when I went home, I was thinking like, what if Jen got super naked at a party? Like, what would I do?
Right.
I don't think I would call foul on it though. I think that's fair game.
What if you got naked? What if you got naked?
If I got naked, what would Jen say? I think that's a closer call.
Why?
I think it's less welcome. I think people at a party don't want to see Mike get naked. But Mike's drunk and naked.
Hey, don't say that about my friend. Don't you dare say that about my friend.
I have a bunch of jokes
Let's
that are
hear
like
the jokes.
This is like literally never done on stage.
Jokes.
Okay,
Let's
see if you have
hear
anything.
your jokes
Okay.
first. Yeah.
I think one of my main takeaways about spending so much time with my 84-year-old dad is that your life gets worse.
Oh my God.
So if you wake up in the morning now and you're like, things are bad and this sucks, and you should know it gets worse. I'm not saying your situation isn't bad. I'm saying everything is relative. So if your life is bad, you should consider thinking of it as good. Because think about your life right now and then think, what if it was like if it was like this, except I couldn't use my arms, legs, or brain.
Oh my God.
That's a bit that I wrote this week. It's pretty dark, but,
Yeah,
it
no,
is
but it's
true.
true.
It's definitely a thing I thought with my dad this week because he's 15 months out of a stroke and
Right, I know.
he just can't do much.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes he can't even think much. It was
Right.
like, that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's I think it's actually kind of empathy building.
You think so?
Yeah, it's kind of like a human. It's a very humanity joke.
Yeah, it's a humanity-based joke.
Humanity-based joke.
Humanity forward.
I think it's very funny.
You think it's funny?
I think it's
funny
very
enough
true.
to try?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any notes? It's a little long right now. I think
Sure.
I'd trim the
I
middle.
mean, even I mean, I know you want to go into the example of your dad. Even the first line, I'm like, well, I pictured it. I mean,
Right.
but it's because,
Right. It gets worse as a line is funny. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
really the front and the back. It's like, my takeaway is your life, it gets worse. And then think about it's all relative. Think about your life right now and then think, what if it was like this, except I can't use my arms or legs or brain? I think that's the whole joke.
yeah. People will go, oh, at the end with the brain part.
Interesting. Like, so that's not good.
No, but
don't
I
think
wonder if there's like one more thing or
One
I
more
don't know.
line.
There might be something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to wonder they're going to be like, wow, is his dad okay?
Right.
Again, they'll just think about it.
What's crazy about my dad is that he goes in and out of having quality of life. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that's so challenging about this last year and a half. Mm-hmm. You'll have days where I think that's the dark thought I have on the bad days.
Oh, sure.
But on the good days, I'm
Right.
like, oh, this is sweet.
Yeah.
Because I make the joke in my special. I go, it's my dad having a stroke is devastating, but it has calmed him down.
Yeah,
And it's
totally.
true.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even kidding. Like, he
Yeah.
is softer.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And it's true.
It's given us like a bit of peace with each other.
Yeah, and it helps that we know what he used to be like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is a funny update from my special because my parents haven't. Well, my dad has not seen the special. People ask me this all the time: "Have your parents seen the special?" My mom watched the special, didn't say anything to me about it. Didn't say I
really?
liked it, didn't like it, whatever.
Oh.
But said to my brother Joe, "I saw the special, and I think it will be helpful for some people."
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
that's enough.
Yeah, totally.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
She's not, a critic
No.
of comedy.
And it's also her son and her husband.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
totally.
that's got to be a lot.
Yeah, totally.
And then I wrote this one, which is my wife and I rarely argue other than when we get dressed up to go out. And then she asks me if I like her dress. And then I say yes. That is a very controversial answer. She goes, "Do you like the dress?" I go, "I love it." She goes, "No, you hate it." I go, "No, I love it." She goes, "You hate it?" I go, "I love it." And I think it's possible she has sensors implanted on my face, making sure any movement in my face is tracked at all times. And I'm finally, it erupts in just me shouting how much I love this dress. And meanwhile, I'm entirely indifferent to the dress. I don't know anything about dresses. Why would you ask me? Look at me.
That's very funny.
You ever have that with Ryan? Because you're a fashionista. Do you ever ask him what he thinks of something you're wearing and it cannot be the correct answer?
It's not the wearing thing. Sometimes it's like jokes.
Oh, it's with jokes.
Yeah, or like interview. I'm about to do an interview or something, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll tell this story. Yeah.
Yes.
Is this story good? And he's like, and I'm like, so it's not good. I shouldn't do it. I've done that. I did that yesterday. I mean, before
Yeah.
Seth Meyers. Yeah.
That's the codependent thing, right? Because I think the thing I'm describing is codependent, except with dresses, and it's true. Jen runs her poetry by me. I run jokes by her, and it's the same thing that you're describing.
There's no winning.
There's no winning.
Right. There's really like, how do you feel? At the end, you just go, well, do you like it?
Yes.
That's all that matters.
I know.
But
It
also,
gets back
that's
to like
even
age
more
5.
upsetting to hear. That's even more upsetting
Do
to
you
hear.
like it?
Babe, it's about what's on the inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You end
That
up
always
saying
goes
crazy
well.
things like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then the final thing I had was My dresser looks like a garage sale where nothing would sell for more than a nickel. It's like a glass of orange juice, a half a bottle of Advil, and some wrist guards. But if I came home and all that stuff was gone, I'd lose my fucking mind.
That's hilarious.
I'd be like, what happened to my life?
Wow, that's really brilliant.
Oh, thanks.
You haven't tried that one?
No.
Oh my god.
Since the special, I have all this stuff in my notebook. I haven't tried any of it because I've been off stage.
Wow, that's so specific. It says so much about you too.
Yeah,
I mean, all of them
the
do.
wrist guard, and
all
the,
of them
and
do.
the nickels and the Advil.
Because the last two jokes, that one, and then Jen asking you,
Do you like? Yeah,
it so
Do you
goes
like my dress?
it's the same world, you know.
I
It
know
says
you
a lot
mean.
about
Like, yeah, you could pair them together potentially.
Right, because you're already going like, I mean, look at me, and then these are the things you own.
No, you're absolutely right. No, you're right.
Yeah, like you don't think about like dresses like that deeply. Like you'd be upset if like your wrist guard and your whatever was missing.
Yeah, my Advil.
Because that's all I have.
My Advil and my wrist guards. My identity.
Yeah, totally.
This is who I am. That was a joke I
funny.
had years ago about Top Gun. It's like I had. It's like the joke was years ago. I go, like every now and then, I'll take something from my past, like a movie I haven't seen in years, decades, and I'll like force my wife to watch it, and I'll preface it with the phrase, "This is who I am." And I was like, I did this with Top Gun. Do you have it with anything with Ryan of like, "This is who I am"? Like this is this is a movie, TV show, piece of art.
He knows my thing is like my identity is kind of Disneyland.
Oh, Disneyland.
Yeah. It's not. It's the thing people fear. I'm kind of a villain. This is a very villainous thing to be.
Which
into.
villain character?
Oh, I'm into it all. My backpack is Winnie the Pooh. Even that
Winnie the Pooh's not a villain.
he wears no pants. I'm like me.
Yeah.
At a party.
Like you at a party.
I love my pantsless king.
Yeah, pantsless king.
You know, that's my people.
That's my guy.
Why is he wearing a shirt? Why wear a shirt? Why even do that? Go naked or
No, and that's the thing. That's the thing that no one's saying about Winnie the Pooh. He's drunk and he's dizzy.
Yeah, yeah. So we're both, and the pantsless is the part that I relate to.
That maybe if
you're showing ass, why do the courtesy of wearing a top? You don't have nipples.
No, I think that's great. I actually think that if I do dizzy as a bit, which you suggested earlier, I think maybe I'll do a tie-in too. I'm Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, you are. You are Winnie the Pooh.
I'm a life-size Winnie the Pooh.
And Winnie's,
which apparently no one thinks is adorable.
Yeah, because he's teeters on like, why is he pantsless?
Right.
But also his thing is he's very cute. This is how he thinks. Do you remember how he thinks?
Oh, no.
He always goes, think. Like he can't remember why he put something somewhere. But,
right.
You know, yeah.
Do you have new bits?
I'm just working on... It's not complete at all. It's just the idea that like Ryan is older than me. And so when... You know, and he like it's just him trying to get like the younger sayings. Like we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race with a friend, and my friend was like, it was the runway portion, so we were looking at the looks, and my friend was like, "Yeah, she ate," and I was like, "Yeah, she left no crumbs," and I just hear Ryan go, "She is so full." He's trying to act her. She is so full. She's not even hungry anymore.
She's satiated.
Yeah, and
She is not looking for leftovers.
Because then he went, give her a bed. She needs a nap.
She needs a nap.
And so I thought, oh, is he like narrating Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Like,
Yeah.
if he's just doing children's stories, like narrating children's stories, for every time we're trying to, you know, like we're saying, we're using young sayings, like we're like, you know, she is queen, we are sat. He's like, fee, fi, fo, fo. You know, I don't know. That's
good.
I need to figure out where it goes, because it's just like all this, like if this, then what? But
Right.
I don't know. You know, it might be a thing I come back to later. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I think like maybe what, you have to get to with it is like how you feel about it.
Right. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like,
That's
is
true.
it annoying?
Right.
Is it sweet? Is it, you know, do you want them to do more, do it more, do
Right.
it less?
I love it. And
you like
I
it?
can relate to it too because like I also make up English words as an immigrant.
Right.
So we're both doing things like that.
So I feel like you could pivot to that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you could go, you know, I relate to that because I do that with
Right.
English sayings, etc.
Yeah, I say on the light, off the light, you know, things like that.
What's on the light, off the light?
Turn on when people like when turn off the light.
Yeah.
I go, can you off the light? You know, things like that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Things, anything above me is upstairs.
Yeah.
So like when we're putting things above us in an airplane,
Yeah.
I'll be like, can you get my laptop from upstairs?
I
So
love
like
that.
things like that. So
You gotta
we
you
speak
could
a
do
language that we both understand
I
with
love
each
that.
other.
And
Yeah.
also, but I think that's a great, I think that's a great idea for a bit.
Yeah, I think I should make it like how I feel and also how it relates to me.
How it relates to
Right,
you.
and-
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, totally.
Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it annoying? Is it not annoying?
Right.
But I love that. Jenny and I always talk about that in relation to like whenever our daughter will say like a phrase like you're saying where it's like a made up phrase.
Right.
You know, we're always like, yeah, it's make up phrases.
Yes.
Like, I mean, because poetry is like all about that.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of like phrasing like Shakespeare invented, turns of phrases, like that's what's fun about it.
That's true. Yeah. Exactly. And they become part of like you just keep adding different phrases to the culture.
Totally.
And
Even
we
like
all
even
understand
the
each
bit from
other.
your special, daytime friends, nighttime friends. I feel like that could really be sticky. People might
Phrases like that.
call each other their daytime friends or their nighttime friends.
This is my daytime friend. Yeah.
It made me think of this bit I have, which I want to get working, which is like, I feel like I experience joy, but there's different types of joy. Like there's dark joy and there's light joy. Like light joy is like eating watermelon in the summertime, and dark joy is smoking pot through a watermelon. Light joy is when a puppy licks your face, and dark joy is when a lady at a bar licks your face. Light joy is flying a kite at the beach, and dark joy is using a broken kite as a sheet to have sex on. I think, and then light joy is watching videos of kittens on the internet. Dark joy is watching videos of water slide accidents.
It's true.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that was a bit. It's funny. I wrote that in my book, the new one book, and I've always wanted to do it as a bit, but I don't know where it goes. Like I have all the examples of like what's light joy, what's dark joy.
That's true.
But it's the same issue of your bit a second ago, which is like, well, how do I feel about it?
Right.
Do I want there to be more dark joy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And like why does one make it light? What makes something light versus dark? I mean, I get it by hearing right? And
It's almost like when you're a grown up at a certain point, it's like you end up in like PG joy. It's almost like PG joy versus like X-rated joy or R-rated joy.
Right. Yeah. It's finding that balance. And then what you don't want is to only have dark joys.
Sure.
That's also key, right?
No, and as a matter of fact, that's an interesting point. I have friends who, comedians a little bit are Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
People who just want to be nighttime friends forever kind of thing, right? They're like, I want to stay in this lane of dark joy forever.
I know.
And at a certain point, you're like, yo.
That's not good.
Like, this is not great.
That's not good. You're dying.
You're dying. You're dead.
You're dying.
You just died.
Yeah. Okay, sex on the beach with a tarp. Yeah, you're dead.
Right.
You live outside.
We're concerned.
Is what you're telling me.
We're concerned as a group.
Because the things that you said that are the dark joys is things that like people in their darkest times have to find the light. And so they're like, hey, at least I got laid on the beach. Sweetie, you live outside.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's help you. Let's help you.
No, that's right. That's actually great. That's super helpful. For
Yeah,
process,
right. Yeah,
talking
yeah.
that through.
Yeah.
Because I've been stumped by that bit for a while. Like, I think it's funny on its face. Like, the examples are funny, and I think people kind of get it. But it's a little bit like, what else?
Right.
What
totally.
if this, what else?
Yeah.
The final thing is working it out for a cause. Is there an organization that you like to contribute to?
Yeah, can we do Trevor Project?
That's right.
Yeah.
You did this the other day for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's a great organization that supports LGBTQ youth. And yeah, I think it's a great organization, and we'll contribute to them. Encourage people to contribute as well.
Yeah.
Katsuka, so happy for you.
Mike Birbiglia.
Atsuko Katsuka, you are outdoing yourself, which I didn't even think you could do because I thought that you were already soaring into the heavens. I don't know where you are now, but I love it.
Thank you, Mike. I feel that way about you all the time.
And we're both dizzy.
To my dizzy king.
To my dizziest queen.
We are a dizzy royals.
We're a dizzy duo. We're the Dizzy Royals.